Hey, so what's up, guys? I'm coming to you quickly today because I want to talk about something that's been on my mind, and it isn't, prevalent on my mind because I'm too busy. And even though the topic keeps coming up amongst primarily African American women, it is something that it's disturbing, but it's also something that I think that we need to address. Obviously, being a single mom, I'm busy. Being a woman of a certain age, tomorrow's my birthday, so I'll be 48. It's not something that's going to be on the top of my list or whatever, but it is something, like I say, I think about, and a lot of women are talking about whether to be my age or younger. There are a lot of women my age who are single, have never been married like me, or have been divorced, right? And the situation is, of course, there's a shortage of black men, which I've talked about. A lot of black men are still in jail or going to jail for the first time. I mean, I'm talking like for 15, 20 years. Some of them are LGBTQIA, hard acronym to say. And some of them are just basically not good men. They're not good fathers. They cheat, they lie, whatever, the whole gambit. They're just not good people. And you're not going to date somebody. This is not a Steve Harvey misogynistic concept because you make more money than he does or some other mess that he's made up. It's not something where we have the right to look down on anyone. But if that person's not the right person for you, regardless if they're just not a snake in the grass, which we've had a lot of men like that, then what do you do? I don't know. I think that they're grooming the younger girls to be kind of like the Barbie doll. I don't want to use the word airheads, but generally that's the case. And forcing patriarchy upon them, which is a form of violence, right? And so when they're groomed young like that, and I hate to say it, but some of them are abused when they're younger, sexually abused, and that makes them even more vulnerable to that type of behavior, where they're going to acclimate towards abuse from men as being normal. And I don't want to bring anybody down, but I do think that it's time for us to address whether or not African American women are going to divest, and start dating out of their race if they're going to, as some of the older women have been doing, dating younger men. And they talk about black women no matter what the situation is. Whether we don't date, then they try to say we're LGBTQI, or we're lonely, or something's wrong with us, or whatever they make up. We're B's and H's, HO's, and all kinds of stuff, right? And if we do date, then of course we still B's and HO's, but then we, got to be judged about who we date. This person that we date is this way, that person we date is that way. Right, so it's never for African American women. It's never a point where there isn't sexual, violence of some way, sexual harassment, racism, and all kinds of different stuff that we have to deal with. So I'm just wondering, is this something we're going to address? I don't see, like I say, I don't see the younger generation. When I say young, I mean like 20, 21, 22, addressing this because a lot of them have been groomed to assume that there was no negativity, and that's the reason why all these women are single. Or when I say no negativity, I mean the relationships were healthy. There was no abuse, there was nothing, there was no stalking, there was nothing, and that's just not true. And we didn't date because they closed a lot of the areas that were safe, and that brings me to the question I'm asking: is it safe for us to even date? Is it? I mean, we can't even sit in our own homes and not be violated. If you've seen all of the black feminicide posting, and God forbid, I don't want to post all the Tinder stuff that is going on where they killed multiple African American women. So, is it safe? We tend to date in groups, according to sociology anyway, as black women. So, we're not going out as much in groups because, yes, some of us are married. As we get older, some of our friends are going to be married and some are not. But then again, also when we deal with reality, patriarchy is going to say that hurts our masculinity if my wife or whomever goes out with someone who's a single person because our lifestyles are different. I might want to go see, some male exotic dancers, and some girl I grew up with who's married, their husband might be, well, that's not for her. And maybe she's groomed herself to say, I don't want to necessarily show that part of me, even if it's still there. You know what I mean? So as we get older, we start to examine what really is going to be the future of these black women. It doesn't, it doesn't look good. I mean, I was watching something before I left about Jocelyn Hernandez and her misleading the black community, being one of those women who's out there shaming the black community. Sorry, it's raining again. And being one of those, you know what I'm saying? And I know the obvious reason behind that and the reason why they're doing it. But as we start to examine reality, we start seeing that you're being used as black women on multiple levels. And if you want to consider the fact, let me have my glasses. Consider the fact that being used is going to be affecting everybody. And we must come to a consensus that it is them using us. It is them taking advantage of us. It is something where we should not be sitting here feeling ashamed for, things that have nothing to do with us. So is it safe? That's a good question. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm gonna get my glasses. I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. But yeah, single women, can we date? Do we want to? What's out there, right? I don't know. You tell me. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.